We are now watching Mariam Z AW's 25-yard breaststroke from the above water camera view. This is Coach Connor commentating. We will be viewing this video at 1/4 of the original speed it was recorded at for video analysis purposes. Let's begin. Alright, Mariam, first thing we're going to touch on is our push off the wall and what we're doing well and what we continue to work on. Okay, I really like that you're doing the elbow your brother, call your mother positioning when we leave the wall. You can see your eyes are looking up into the corner, okay, which is great. That's where we want to be looking. The elbow is in the right angled position, or the arm I should say. Okay, that's where we want it to be. As we're coming over, we're bringing that phone to our ear, as we like to say, when we're calling our mother. Okay, and you've got your elbow tucked in nice and firm along the side of the body, right down here. So that's where we want to be. I like that a lot. As we begin to leave the wall, we enter into that tight streamline. Very good body position. Nice and straight off the wall too. I like that. So our feet are on the center of the wall, and our hands follow through into this off the wall as well, into that tight streamline. So that's excellent. Head's in the nice downward position, eyes looking at the bottom of the pool. Now, as we begin our pull out, the first thing we do is we come out really wide with the arms. I want you to recall the I-Y position that we do in breaststroke. On that breaststroke drill, where we go from the I position, which is when we're making both arms are out in front, shoulder width apart, reaching for the wall, that's I. Then we separate the hands a little bit so where the hands go just a little bit beyond these shoulders into the Y position, okay? That's as far as we want to go when we begin our pull. What we do two things here. One, we separate the arms really wide, okay? Let me show you where I would like you to be. We want those arms to be right here, okay? We're in that Y position, okay? We want those hands to just separate just a little bit, not a lot. And we end up coming all the way out here before we begin to bend our elbows out, okay? The arms separate to the Y, the elbows can go out, but we want the hands to sweep in towards the body. And the other thing that we do is we begin to lift the head. Notice how your eyes went from looking at the bottom of the pool, now they're looking forward. Okay, we begin to sweep. We're still waiting to sweep in, okay, and we ultimately don't. So what we're doing here is we're sweeping all the way around. We're making a giant rainbow, if you will, and we don't want to do that, okay? We want to begin to sweep those hands down towards our hips, okay? Remember, the elbows can come out, but we want the hands to sweep down towards our hips, most certainly right here in this position. This is the furthest I'd want to see those arms separate before we start to bring the hands down towards the hips, okay? But we go all the way out to the side, and we make a giant rainbow down towards our hips, okay? And you are timing the dolphin kick at the correct time in terms of when we need to do it. We're about halfway through the pull, and we're starting to do the dolphin kick. But because we lifted that head up, okay, we're throwing our body in all sorts of directions, and we're beginning to kick down towards the bottom of the pool. Notice how your body position went from nice and straight off the wall to now we are going at a downwards angle towards the bottom of the pool, okay? We never want to be in that position. I understand that the body might move a little bit out of line during the dolphin kick phase, but we should never have the head down towards the bottom of the pool and the feet up towards the ceiling. Okay, you have the right idea, but we just need to make sure we maintain that body position. Okay, now as we bring the arms up towards the chest, okay, up towards the front, I should say, you do a good job of sweeping the hands underneath the chest. Okay, so that's excellent. We do want that. The hands go from being along the sides, sweep underneath the body, underneath the chest, out in front. Now, when we begin to do that, we want to make sure we keep that head position down as I was talking about. Okay, so now you bring the head back down into position, which is excellent. We actually get back into a pretty good body position. So what we want to avoid doing is doing all that unnecessary movement that we just went over. Okay, let's bring it back a few frames just so you can see what I'm talking about. We want to avoid all of the unnecessary movement right here. We want to avoid all of that, okay, in order to get to here. Okay, that's a great body position. We want to be there, but we don't need to do all that unnecessary movement that we did before. Okay. Now for the swimming portion, okay? Let's take a look at your body position. This is after your first stroke, actually. I thought the breakout was pretty darn good, but I just want you to understand that this is the body position that we want to be in as we go into our first stroke out of the pull-out. So let's take a look at where we were going into that first stroke. Okay. Notice how we're a little bit underneath, okay, with the feet going down towards the bottom, arms are kind of going towards the surface. Not bad at all. That's actually pretty darn good. But if we want to have the optimal position, we will go. I'll show you in the next frame. Okay, so let's take a look here. Arms separate. We're in that I position. Notice the palms. I know it's hard to see, but right here your hands are down, and then as we're pushing out, the hands are sweeping out towards the side of the wall. Okay, you do a great job of letting that initial sweep. Okay, get the hands out. Now we want to pull in. Remember what I was talking about earlier with that first initial pull? We want to pull in right here. Okay, that's the Y position we want to be in. The elbows are already starting to push out. We want those hands to sweep in. And remember, we kind of sweep out, and then we're pushing in. We want to sweep in right away so that the hands come to the chest, above the chest line, not below the chest line, which is where your hands are at right now. But what you do a great job of, what helps save that body position, is you keep the head down, okay, and you're beginning to time that kick properly, and the hands shoot out very fast. So that's good. But if we can get those hands a little bit higher as we pull in, it's going to make it great. Okay, eyes stay down, hands are shooting out in front. Love that. You're getting into that streamlined position. That kick's coming together, nice and strong. Feet get together. Good. We're in that optimal body position. This is where we want to be out of the pull-out, like I mentioned earlier. That is excellent. Let's go through to the next frame. Okay, we're maintaining that good body position. Even with a little bit too wide of a pull, you're doing a great job of maintaining the body position. Again, through your head position, eyes staying down, and the hands getting out quickly. Okay, the hands are at the surface. You're already entering that streamlined position. Now, I do want to say, although it's not bad, we don't have to do it, is we don't need to be in that streamlined position. Your hands are already starting to go on top of each other before they're pushing out. Okay, we don't have to have the hands on top of each other as we're pushing out. The hands can just be right alongside each other, kind of with the fingers pointing forward. Okay, almost if you clap your hands together with the fingers facing forward, and then I just want you to separate, okay, about a thumb length apart. And that's where you want your hands to be, okay? Right in line with the shoulders shooting out rather than being on top of each other as we shoot those hands forward, okay? Now, as the hands come all the way out in front, it's okay to have those hands kind of side by side a little bit closer, but we don't necessarily need to have them in the absolute streamlined position. Okay, not bad, but it is not necessary to do in this situation. So I really like the body position on this breaststroke. It's excellent. Really, the biggest thing we need to change right now is the pull out and the unnecessary movement on the pull out, and coming in a little bit tighter on that pull, so we're not going out super wide on the pull and going underneath the chest. If you can just pull those hands into the chest, right above, right between that space between the top of our chest and our neck, if we can pull kind of in that area, it's going to make that breaststroke a lot more efficient. So the other thing too that happens, and when we can tell you're going a little wide with the pull, is that the elbows come all the way out of the water in the back. Okay, they don't need to really come out. They just need to kind of squeeze the sides as the hands shoot in. Okay, we really shouldn't be able to see your elbows sneak out of the water, but it does. What this is compensating for, because you're going wide with the pull, the reason why the elbows are coming out in the back is that way your hands are able to come up through the surface of the water, or out above the surface of the water rather than through. So if we can just make that pull tighter, The elbows are going to be able to hide a little bit easier, and the fingertips are still going to be able to graze along the surface of the water as they are now. But really good job. I just love this so much. I want to keep pointing this out so that make sure that you keep doing it. Is that you do a great job of getting in that streamlined position. Boom, right there, and you ride the glide. Okay, you give it about a split second before you begin to separate those hands into that pull, and that's great. Now let's watch the finish here. Come in, fully extended, two-hand touch. Now I want you did a two-hand touch. Now that's completely legal. I like that a lot. But I want you to look at where you're touching the wall. Okay, we're touching the wall at the top along the gutter line. Okay, so right here. We want to touch more down here. So if we're in a race, we're in a meet, we're hitting the touchpad as opposed to the top of the wall. Okay, all in all, very, very good brush stroke. I really like what we're seeing right now. From the moment we push off the wall until we touch the wall at the other end, it's just going to be fixing the pull out, making sure we're not doing unnecessary movements from going from the pull to the dolphin kick all the way back out into the streamline. And then from there, just tightening up that pull a little bit out front to really get those hands around quicker. Excellent job on the body position, head position, okay, powerful kick, riding the glide. All those little details are already there. So fixing the other minor details that we already discussed is going to make our brush stroke that much better. Thank you for participating in Dartfish. I look forward to working with you on a couple more videos if we can in the future. And if you have any questions about this one, please let me know at practice, and I will gladly go over them with you. And if you have not already, we will be working on the underwater video, so go ahead and pull that one up for the next one. Alright, thank you.